another nomination. My goodness, you must be very excited.
We are very excited. I mean, I don't suppose when you go, well, definitely when you go make a film like this, it isn't for nominations. You go out there just to try and find a story, tell a story, and if you can cut something together that vaguely makes sense, you feel like you've done a decent job already. And then to get wins and nominations is absolutely incredible, and especially this one tonight because it's from the critics, and they're the people who were desperate to like our film.
And they're normally the harshest.
Normally the harshest as well. And I think it's fair to say you wouldn't expect the kind of feel-good football documentary to be a winner with the critics, you know, and so we're really honoured that it has been.
So when you said you were looking for a film to make, how did this story present itself to you about these guys?
Well, initially, our producer, Christian Brody, it was his idea, and he knew that Mike and I were football nuts, and he knew that we were looking for feature material, and he said that, you know, he'd had this idea for a while that, there could be a documentary about the team who got beat 31-0 to Australia, and why the hell they carried on playing. And he mentioned it to us over a beer, and in a heartbeat, we said, we're on it, let's go. And I think 3 weeks later, we were in Samoa. It was that quick. It was out 10,000 miles away in the Pacific. We didn't stand on ceremony. We were straight out there and thought, well, if we're going to tell their story, it's just get on the rock and see what happens.
And for future advice for other filmmakers that want to go out and make documentaries, was it difficult to fund? You said it, 3 weeks later you were out there. Did you sort of think about the financial aspects, or was it a case of just like, no, let's get out and do it?
Well, our pre-production was quite interesting in that we planned to think about the finance, but then it never happened because we called the team. And they said, well, yeah, sure, we haven't played a game in 4 years, but we've got 5 games coming up in 3 weeks' time. So at that stage, we knew that if they went to those games and they won or they scored, that our film was no more. There was no film to be told. So we said we kind of have to be there. So the finance plan went out the window, pre-production went out the window, and 3 skinny guys had to work out how to get 300 kilos of kit, 10,000 miles, 50-hour round trip, or 50-hour door-to-door journey to Samoa. So that we spent 3 weeks worrying about that and not about the money. And then we got there and thought, okay, we should have planned this a little better, but never mind, let's see what happens.
Testament to tenacity.
Exactly, and what we didn't know about tenacity before, we certainly learned from the Samoans.